Welcome to Confessions with Nikki G. I'm your host, Nikki G. I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today, taking time out of your busy day to just listen to what I have to speak about today. But first, on my way up here, I'm talking to my guest I haven't introduced yet. On my way up here, I was listening to some music, and I decided, you know what? I want to start off with some happy music today. I'm going to let y'all take a listen to what I was listening to. It's old school. That's my happy place music. I see y'all vibing. What you know about that, brother? Oh. Music is good for the soul.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And I love that type of music. I can put it on in my car, get her cleaned up, and just roll. That's right. All right. That's enough of going down memory lane. I just thought I'd share that little bit of happiness with you guys today. But today I have two guests, and I'm so excited. My first guest, Savanya. She's a return guest. But let me tell y'all a little something that I know about Savanya. She's a healthcare specialist. She is stockbroker. Woohoo! And what you probably wouldn't guess is she also DJs as well. So, Savanya, you want to tell our audience something about yourself?
Well, you kind of narrowed it down, but I'm going to just say I'm a laid-back type chick. You know, I like to do me. I do me. So, I don't make myself be no better than no one else. I'm just living life. I try to enjoy myself, and I try to treat people the way I want to be treated.
And that's rules to live by.
That's it.
Then my other guest, of course, Mr. Calvin. He's a return guest. Really a co-host now. Won't you tell the audience something about yourself, Calvin?
Well, if you don't know me by now, I'm going to tell you what's in the Bible and what's not in the Bible before we can, live right and do things right way. We won't be beating ourselves upside the head. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm a cook. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I'm a brother-in-law. I'm a son-in-law. I'm all the laws. So today we just gonna really get down to it. And Miss Nikki has been my sister for many years now. So I'm at home. I'm comfortable, and I just like everybody to know to just sit back and relax, and we're gonna give you something good today.
Yeah, right. Well, today's podcast is for individuals that recently probably or have been through a divorce or some type of breakup. And now you're probably ready to date again. I don't know if you guys been following me for a while, but Savanya and I, we did a podcast almost a year ago about dating. Are you flea bagging in 2021? But right now we're gonna kick it up a notch for those that are ready to start back dating again. This time we're gonna give you the steps in dating, but we're gonna throw a little biblical principles in it. And I'm saying that to say that I think it is very vital that you throw some principles in with your dating experience. But let me tell you about my life. This is confession/testimony. For me, I dated without biblical principles, and I dated with them. So when I tried it without, and that is my life, my personal, my work life, my ethics in general, without biblical principles, I lived in chaos. I wasn't in peace. I didn't know the type of individuals I was intertwining with because I didn't have that knowledge. So I was living the way of the world. So then I decided to cross over into the biblical principles. Therefore, my life changed. My circle of friends changed. The people that I started to date changed as well. Because then I was able to recognize the type of man that I wanted to be with, period. So I'm hoping by the end of this podcast that you could use some of these principles in your life as well, because if you've been single for a while and you're ready to start back dating, there are steps you need to take before you date. And I'm hoping, like I said, I hope these steps help you. You want to elaborate a little bit about that, Samanya? I know you told us your story in the last episode.
Well, just to piggyback on things you said about far as, being able to make the correct steps to dating. Dating, I feel like when you're dating, it's not just about dating. You have to date with the purpose. What is your purpose of dating? What are you seeking out? What are you looking for? If you don't know that, then you're going to get anything, first and foremost. So the main thing of being prepared and ready to date, you have to know who you are and what you want.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Before we get to Mr. Calvin, I want to say one thing. I'm not a licensed therapist.
No.
I don't have any schooling. I got the book of living and learning. I live, I learn. I tried it one way, I tried it another way. Hey, I'm telling you the way that I tried that worked for me. Now, this might not work for everybody, but it worked for me. So I feel like if it worked for me, it may possibly help somebody. So I don't want you guys to try to sue me on down the line saying, hey, I did this, and this girl said this, and that. No, it worked for me. Okay, Mr. Calvin, what do you think about dating with biblical principles?
Well, I'm just like you just said. I'm not a licensed therapist. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks, going through it, doing it, did everything up under the sun, dating this, dating that, and I had to realize and learn that I wasn't being true to myself. I was looking at the figure, the 36, 24, 36. I was looking at the hair. I was looking at the skin color. I was looking at all this here. But and I realized, though, up under all that, it was a terrorist. When they put their makeup on, you don't know what they hiding. So when you dating, you have to, like Savanya said, you have to date with a purpose. Now when they date, they don't ask questions. They don't do background checks. You have to do that because I've been to the point where when I was dating back in the day, that I had to get away because she was all nice looking, but once I got to that house, it's just like I was at the city dump, and we're gonna keep it real. Ooh. And when I walked in, my mama said, if the house ain't clean, she ain't clean. So I had to do ask her where the nearest store was, because I need to go get something. And I ain't never seen her again, so if she listening, she probably know who I am, but I haven't went back since. So I don't date. I don't blind date. And best thing for you to do, really, know that person. Get to know that person. Back in the day, they called it courtship. You courted somebody. You know them. My dad used to tell us that if you're going to go to a young lady's house, don't go up there walking. Get off the bus, get off some roller skates, or get off a bicycle. But no woman wants a man that's walking.
And for me, I'm going to bag it all the way up. If you're recently divorced, and the first step that I took for myself was healing. You have to ask yourself, have you given yourself the proper time to heal? That's right. Or are you still on some petty nonsense with your ex? You have to give yourself time to heal. You got to work on yourself. You have to have a self-evaluation of yourself. And then you have to be honest to yourself, like I said, and say, have you truly moved on? Or are you on some petty stuff? Now, if you can't answer yes to those 3 questions, then you probably don't need to be dating. Because that healing, you have to heal from your previous relationship before you even decide to even try to move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. Period. And that self-evaluation is so important because whatever went wrong in that relationship, it wasn't all one-sided. You had something to do with it within. Mm-hmm. So you got to figure that out. Self-evaluate. Take some time to yourself. Get yourself together. Reflection. And I'm not to say whose fault or whatever, but that's really for you. It's not about the other person. It's for you. Did you try that, Samanya, when you first?
Of course. Yeah. Like back in our last... we did. I mean, basically, I took a year off for me, Like we said, also, you said it's all in your time. You know, I may have went a year. Some people might have to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You know, it's all in your timing. You know, it's not a rush. The process, you just have to trust the process. It's not a rush. So take your time and prepare yourself. Be ready for that. Because a lot of us, women and men, we're broken. And the question is, and this is what I've learned from my bishop, you have to ask yourself, are you a healthy woman, broken woman, or a toxic woman? Vice versa as a man. Those 3 things, you have to evaluate yourself to see which one you are at that point in your life.
Yes.
Life is stages. No one said you're going to go through life not having no trials and tribulations. God says that is biblical. But at the same time, you have to know how to be prepared and get yourself ready when that comes, because you know you're going to go through something. As a woman, as a man, you're going to go through something. It's a mental state of mind that you have to start preparing yourself after being with someone, especially coming out of divorce, been single for so long. When you by yourself, you pick up your own habits. But when you get with someone, something gonna have to change. Are you prepared for that? Are you ready? So those are the questions. That's why I say, are you prepared to be this healthy woman? Or are you still a broken woman? Broken women still have these issues. You still holding on to things, like you said, not willing to allow yourself to let them go. And if you're not there, you know what I'm saying? If you're not really mentally there to say, oh, I've moved on, I'm healed from that, you're going to bring that brokenness back into the new relationship.
So that's where the self-evaluation,
Exactly.
self-reflection come in. And I'll use myself for an example. I've been with toxic people for so long. Now that God is intertwining me with people like me, I don't know how to handle that. So I had to ask myself, am I being toxic in his life? Because I don't know how to handle that. That's some deep stuff I had to think about, self-reflection of myself. So I had to bag up from this person and explain to that person why I'm bagging up. Because I need to get myself together first. So that's a big step in dating. You just because you feel like you're ready, you may not be ready. Because I discovered that about myself after the fact.
It's called unpacking the suitcase.
Woo, I got layers and layers.
When you going from one relationship and you don't unpack before you get into that next relationship,
Right.
you taking that same luggage in there. And then so when you get into the relationship, men and women, you start unpacking in that relationship. So now you start asking the question, where did that come from? I didn't say that. We start having, I call it memory lapse. We start thinking about what the other person did to us. And if you have not got over that other person and you have not unpacked that suitcase, you do not need to get into another relationship, because that relationship going to become toxic. You're going to become a stalker. You're going to start saying where you been, where you were, why it took you so long, because the last relationship did that to you. And it go both ways. And see, and one thing you got to realize that when you're in a relationship, that's why I call it a relationship. That means that it's just like a buying contract. When you're dating, you don't have a contract when you're dating. And that's one thing I really want to explain. When you are dating, there's no rules when you're dating. He is not yours, and you are not his. He don't have to explain where he going, when he going, and who he was with. He don't have to explain that. Because we get in relationships and we try to make that woman or that man be accountable for where they at. But see, biblically, he owe you no explanation because you're not married. God only blessed and ordained the institution of marriage. When you get married, the word said that your body is not your body and his body is not his body. You both are held accountable. So when you dating, it's just like it's a freestyle. You get what you get.
Okay, that's good. Let's touch on this. I like this conversation.
The way I feel like people dated maybe years ago, and the way people date now is different, because I've met people that date and they might know each other 2 or 3 days, and the next thing you know, they move in together, they a husband and wife, let them tell it. And it just goes on and on and on.
It is.
So if you're not physically solid with yourself to know, like Savon said, what it is that you're wanting, and that's my next step. Do you truly know what you need versus what you want? Mm-hmm. This is what this conversation. Is it what you need or what you want?
Right.
Now, we know we want that. Maybe some of us want the tall man, maybe the bright-skinned man, the thick man, or whatever man. That's what you want. But can this individual actually give you what you need? Or do you even know what you need? Is your mind conscious enough to say, okay, well, I need this, this, and this? And when I say what you need, what is it that you need to grow emotionally and mentally? Can that person help me to do that? Or is that person going to hinder me?
That's why that, for me, that need is turned into the want. That's when I say what you want. It's a need of what you want. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that? That's your need. I want that. That's what I need. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Just like you say, you want to have a great life. You want to be happy. That's what you need in your life. You want somebody to support you. You want someone to support and love you and treat you right. Yeah. That's what you need. So then you turning that need into the want.
When I say want, I understand when you say want, but I mean want on a different realm. Because some people might not want that person. They might just want to be surround themselves around people that's going to help them grow and prosper mentally and emotionally. Might not be per se in a relationship. The example that the minister used that I listened to, he used the salad. You really don't want the salad, but you really don't need it, but you just want it. So you just get it or whatever. So I'm saying that to say in your relationships, you might see a man, it might look good, or a woman, she may look good, but do you really need that person? Is that what you need? Somebody that look good?
Right.
Or whatever.
See, that's why I say I look at relationships different now. I don't look at it as far as what I want. Of course, we all, let's be real. We talking real today. We all want somebody that we can be able to feel complete and even visual, with. We're not going to sit here and say that. But the purpose of it is saying, I need someone more that can give me a more emotional and mental and spiritual connection than I do a physical connection or financial. Let's talk about that. Because some women, they that's why I say know what you want. Some women, they just looking for a certain type of guy.
That's because that's what they want, but is that what they need?
But see, you're the only person. They will be the only person that can determine do they know what they need. Some people, that's my point.
You have to know
knowing what you want. You will know what you need. When you know what you want, you know what you truly need in your life. And knowing that is being able to, like you just said,
know the difference. Is it something I want or is it something that I need?
Right.
You can intertwine the two, but you got to make a distinction.
Exactly.
He might be cute, and I want that. But can he give me what I need, though?
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
But see, that's why it's called dating.
Right.
Exactly.
For data, as I said in the previous episode.
And that, like you said, that's where the word come from. Data come from dating. Mm-hmm. Because when you're dating, you can put your stuff into a computer, like they do now, and it finds you somebody.
You're right. Somebody.
They find you somebody.
You're gonna be careful that somebody.
Like I told you last week, they play the part, they talk the part, they dress the part. But then when you get him to the house, he'll booger bow. Or she'll booger bow.
Tell you.
I read something today saying, you can't shack with the devil and expect God to pay your rent.
You Come can't. On. Because he's not finna pay you. Because the word says, now God is not the author of confusion. Yeah. He is not going to. So quit saying God bless him with that man.
That's
that man that beating you up and taking your money, driving your car. No, but did you date him? Did you find out about him? Did you find out about his father? Did you find out about his mother? Did you find out about Uncle Ray? Did you find out, have you been to the house? Or do he meet you at your house?
But that's the question you also look at too. When you find out, you go back into history with people. Okay, so your parents or your father might have did this. Does that portray you to be the same way?
Mm-mm.
See, we all have our own identity. So what I do, I look at I look at your history. I see where you come from. I see how your background, but I also go off of your character now, because you have to understand it's like children. They develop, we as adults, we develop our characters and personalities early. So now I'm seeing what has molded your character, your personality. So that what makes me determine, okay, if you for me or I'm for you. Because I know me, I got to check myself. I'm going to speak for me. I'm a strong-headed woman, very strong-minded, have my own path, but I know how to be submissive also. But have I made mistakes when I was married? Of course I made mistakes, a whole lot of them. That's because I wasn't mature in levels that I needed to be in. That's the thing for me. When you're dating and when you with someone, you have to make sure that you are mature enough to handle things that may be uncomfortable, things that may feel like, okay, I'm not used to this. I've been in this relationship. I'm not used to this. He not doing what I used to. You know what I'm saying? Every person is not the same.
And one thing I want to, a couple of things. Back to what Calvin said about the man looking like the part. The man can look like the part, he can play the part, but you better find out what's in his heart.
Right.
At the end of the day. And then I feel like dating is just that. You're dating. Your mind should be just focused on collecting data. But before you get to the dating part, we're going to transition over to the date. But before you get to the dating, please make sure that you heal from your past relationships and you know the difference between a want and a need.
Yes.
Before you step back out there. Now, if you did all those things, congratulations. Welcome to the other side of peace, happiness. You shining, you bright, you ready to get out there. You're ready. Now, here's the time where you collecting data, when you want to find out about these individuals. But there's some questions that you can ask a person, I feel like, off the top, and you can decide right then and there whether you're going to keep dating this person or you're going to move around.
That's right.
See, some of us wasn't strong enough in the past just to cut a person off in the beginning because we made excuses for ourselves and we made excuses for that person. And I'm speaking about me.
We all done that one time in our
you make
life.
excuses.
You be real with yourself. We all done that one time or another in our life. We haven't gotten this point in this at this age, and we ain't speaking our ages in here, but we haven't gotten to this point and at this age in our life to say we haven't done that. We all have, and even people that's maybe listening, I know somebody have done that and went through that.
Oh yeah, they went through it. They went through it. We all have went through it, men and women. I know I have. I've been married 3 times. And that's what I chose. Because that's what I wanted. So what I wanted, that's what I got. And wind up in divorce court. Because I didn't want that no more. So sometimes we stay in relationships because we think they're going to get better. Some will, some won't. Like Savanya was said, you have to know what you want. I had to realize that, what do I want to keep living like this? Do I want to come home? Just like I say, see, sometimes we get in relationships that we don't want to come home, so we ride around the block and try to figure out well, man, I don't feel like going there. I don't want to hear that today. I ain't going. You don't want to do that. And if you're in that type of relationship, you need to check yourself, because you're allowing yourself to be in a toxic relationship. It start off small, but then it get worse and worse and worse. And before you do that, before you, how can I say it? Before you do something that you don't want to do, because there's a lot of crime going on right now. Wives shooting husband and husbands shooting wives, and they shooting the whole family and stuff. Get out of it. Get out of it. Seek counseling. And, and that's why I always say, you have to have a relationship with God. I had to get a relationship with God because all my relationship lasted a year, 30 days, The longest relationship I've been in was 5 years. And the second longest is 21 years that I'm married to now because God chose this woman for me. See, it was something that I needed. You have to get to that point where you say, you know what? No. God, what you think? So do we ask that question? We got to be real with ourselves. We done chose so much and messed up so much, and it's destructive. And when I say it's destructive, because you date, and I really didn't want to get on this up, but I'm getting on this up. We date and get ourselves in trouble. We date. We say we dating, but you wind up pregnant. You dating, he done left you. You pregnant, and he tell you what? This is what I didn't really want. But we have to be strong enough to say, no, we dating. There gonna be none of that. No, you can't come to my house. I ain't going to your house. We're gonna meet at the movies, go to the movie where we say we're going. When we leave out that door, good night. You go your way, and I'm going my way. You're not coming to the house. Because, see, some of us, and I'm gonna say it like that, I'm just gonna say some of us. Back in my day, I wasn't strong enough. Because she said, I'm coming over. Girl, come on home. So now I'm a baby daddy. Now I'm paying child support. See, that's the destructive part of it. You wind up getting intertwined, and we say, well, we common law married. Common law married is not an ordained marriage. It's not an institutionalized marriage. It's just we sharing some things together. The destructive part of this here, you married this brother, or that brother married that sister, you accumulate a lot of things together. Now, guess what? If she says she's tired of you, you got to leave or she got to leave. She get half of what you got, and you're not even married.
Well, see, that's the thing. We're doing this dating thing backwards. You're supposed to date to collect data. But see, we date, have sex, then collect data and be like, wait a minute, I don't want to be with this person. This fool is crazy. See, we doing it backwards.
That's what I said.
So that's why I'm saying if you include these biblical principles, you won't have to worry about being somebody's baby mama or somebody's baby daddy, because you done already collected the data and you done already made a decision, a rational decision. Not a feel-good decision, a rational decision that, hey, that's not going to work for me. I don't think I better just, But we do it backwards. And I got that revelation as he was speaking. I had to write it down before I forget it. Yeah.
And some people,
dating is data.
Yeah.
Period.
I know I always say
yes, that's
my favorite thing. But I feel like, let's get back on this too, because you just said everybody, I'm at an age, ain't no more babies, so that ain't going to be my problem. Let's talk to the boys that ain't got to worry about that issue with the babies also. So we got to get to those women, which women in the latter years of their life dating now, some of them been with one man all their life, then got a divorce, now they back on this dating scene. Some of those women don't know what to do. This is what this show is about today, is to be able to give those women some points on what it is to do in this situation, because of course some of them ain't gonna have ain't having more children, and
I don't want to just reach those women. I want to reach all of them.
Well, all of them, but
young,
I know a lot
older.
of women that's coming across now, because we're in a new dispensation in time. Like Brother Calvin said about his situation. Back then was totally different than it is now. Dating, I ain't gonna say it's different. It is different because of where everybody's mindset is. It was a different type of mindset back then to compare to where it is now. We talking about a different dispensation in time. People doing things different. Look at it. Social media, that's a platform. That's a dating platform now. Back then, there was no social media dating platform. You met people, and it was the old school way. Now, you meeting people, you don't even know who you meeting. It's scary. So that's the thing of me saying, when it's dating, whether you meeting them online or you meeting them in person, you got to be careful of who you coming across, because everybody ain't genuine. Everybody ain't real.
That's where the data come in at. I'm saying that to say that's where the data
But
come
when you
in.
meet somebody, think about this. You getting the representation of that person, representative. You're not actually getting the first person or this person. So yes, when you meet them, that representative, you got to pay attention to it. When you on the phone with somebody taking care of your business, personal business, you ask questions. Why you can't do that when you date?
Yeah, and you're supposed to because
You supposed to.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
see,
Better ask some questions.
even me with my age, when I started dating my wife now, I met her mother, I met her family, I met her grandmother, I met her sister. See, I met the whole family because they're just me. Now, you have men or women, they don't want to meet the family. They don't want to talk to the daddy. See, I'm old school. My daughters, I want to meet them. Because cause I wasn't going to scare them. I was going to talk to them. I had one daughter, I took her little man friend for a walk and he never came back. For real. That's a real story. I'm telling you. Because I'm going to ask you questions that I know that my daughter not going to ask you. Because I want to see what the response of you going to say.
But see, this is what I call the new generation of dating.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to incorporate is the old, well, I ain't going to say the old way, the proper way you should be
Right.
dating. Nowadays, a lot of that stem way back from knowing your worth as a woman, I'm speaking. Just because someone takes you out on a date doesn't mean that you're obligated to do anything but whatever it is y'all did on the date, which is maybe you went out to eat or something. You don't have to do anything else. But when you don't know your worth, you don't know your purpose, you don't know how to date, you don't know what question to ask, guess what? You're going to find yourself intertwined in some mess. I ain't going to per se a baby or whatever, but you're going to find yourself in some mess.
You see, and the first question is...
And it might be something you can't get rid of.
There you go.
Because, see, the first question is that I'm not going to say most women... But the conversations I hear is always about, and I'm talking young women, they 20, 25, 26 that I work with, how much you make, what you drive, what they got to do with it. And that's the question I used to ask myself, why do y'all ask these guys that? Because we just want to make sure I ain't messing with no broke man. Okay, he a rich man, but he's a rapist. He a rich man and he a mass murderer. You looking at money, you're not looking at yourself now, your self-worth. So you trying to tell me you a Happy Meal chick?
See, that's what I mean by what you want, what you need. It's a difference. Yeah, he drive, like you say, he driving that sports car and he might make a lot of money. My motto was, that's his money, not mine, so why do I care? But I'm just saying, a lot of people think like that. Some older people think like that too. I hate to say
I was
it.
just about to
Yeah.
It
say.
ain't got to be no young person.
I know.
Exactly.
I've heard older women say, what's his
Yeah.
credit score?
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have a 700 or 800 credit score.
Well, I'm gonna tell you in data.
But he might be
I know
nuts.
I'm gonna speak on my own experience.
Sure.
What I want, what I need. Like I said, I need somebody to know who they are, know who you are, know what you really need and want.
That's a big
Especially coming to me. When you step into me, you need to know what you want to do.
Self-confidence.
Exactly.
But if you're out on a date, these are the questions, or some of the questions that I chose. Now, the guy that I listened to, I think his last name is Blake's. He had about 10 or 15 of them.
Sam,
but I use
that's
these
the bishop
because
I
this
listen to,
this
Ed
is
Arson.
what I use when I meet people now. I have men, are you Dr. Phil? Yeah, I'm going to be.
Right.
Before we leave this restaurant or wherever we at, you going to think I'm Dr. Phil or whoever you want to call me. Because I'm going to ask you 10, 100 questions. Because I'm deciphering whether I'm going to keep talking to you or not. The first one, which is important for, like I said, for you to realize is you're dating. You're collecting data. If you're dating, these are people with applications. I like to say, okay, his application at the top of the pile. Let me see what he's talking about. Or he or she are talking about. Just remember that. These are just applications. It doesn't necessarily, you're not obligated to do anything, as Calvin said. You're dating to collect what? Data. The first question, that caught my eye was, you can ask this person, what matters to you most in life? How would you answer that, Cal?
What matters to me most in life?
Yeah.
What matters to me is me. And I'm going to tell you why. I love me. I'm not going to allow anybody to get in my space. They're going to break my peace. They're going to break my joy. So I'm saying, if you that type of female, I'm just like, if you that type of female that got drama, you dismiss. Your application go in the trash can immediately.
What about you, Sonia? How would you, or how would you want someone to respond if you was on a date with that person? You asked them what matters to you most in life. What would you think
So
would
you
be
speaking in a dating form.
in a dating form?
Okay.
Application now. You applying.
You applying? They applying for the job.
They applying.
I think, well, I'm trying to narrow down some things because for me, I got a lot that I feel
She got a manual.
matters most to me. I got a what?
A manual.
Yeah. Right. But I really do think trustworthy,
That's a good one.
because if you're not able to be trusted, all the rest don't even matter. I don't care nothing about the rest. So for me, I have to be able to, foremost, be able to trust what you say, let alone trust what you do. Because you got people that will talk, and you got doers, and you got talkers. Your words can say one thing, but your action can say another.
So you would want that person to say, okay, well, what matters most to me in life is being trustworthy to you.
With honesty.
Being
Being
honest.
truthful about that. Because I can't trust you if you're lying to me. So that's why I say mine, it kind of fluctuates with, it's a balance with both together. Because honesty goes a long way because I'm a communicative type person. And if you the type of person, you standoffish or you kind of low and you don't really say too much, then I don't know where your mind at. I don't know where your head. I'm not a psychic, like you just said today. We're not on here to be therapists and all that. So how you gonna make me out of a therapist? You know what I'm saying? You know, you get in a relationship. Some people make you go into being like you a therapist. You gotta
Pull it out of her.
that person. You know, you in a relationship, you feel like you the one, gotta be the one encouraging, motivating, empowering, embracing, uplifting. That's supposed to be both people.
And that's something that we talk about. We talked about what? Knowing your role.
Yeah, knowing your role.
So during the application process, if that person cannot answer them questions, they don't know what their role is to themselves, number one, then they can't express to me what if they cannot express to me, if they can't,
period.
you know, then we don't have, because I like to talk. You know that. I like to talk, I like to ask questions. And I like to ask questions. But then when I'm quiet, I'm really peeping you out. I'm listening to what you're saying and how many times you just said it. Because I rewind you all the way back. I said, but no, you just said you did this and did that. See? And that's why sometimes we talk, like the old song says, homeboy, you talk too much and you never shut up. Sometimes my mom said you got to shut up, that way you can hear what's being said. So that's a lot of times I find myself in situations where I just quiet. They said, what you quiet for? Because I'm listening. I learn about you by listening and watching you. So I already know. So if I'm looking across the room and watching you walk around with your drink in your hand or whatever you got in your hand and you're doing this here, I already know. I'm not even finna, because I'm peeping you.
Let me back up. So let me go back to what you need. Say hypothetically that you decided, you know what, I done tried the world's way, so I'm going to try these biblical principles. So now you're dating. So now you're looking for that man or woman that knows his or her role in relationships, that you're not looking for that person to be quoting Bible quotes, but you want to know that they got it in their heart, in their spirit. You know, you can kind of feel it out. So according to what I learned from watching this young man, if you ask a person what matters to you most, and they can't mention nothing spiritual up in there, it's the problem. Trustworthy is spiritual. You have in God we trust. You get that?
Exactly.
It's got to be somewhere up in that question.
Right.
My relationship with God matters to me most because that keeps me grounded. And, you know, something to that degree. It doesn't have to be that over the top, but, you know, something to that degree.
He has to be
if you want to date with biblical principles.
Yes. Because if you don't have God in your life, it's just like two blind people going down the road, and they both gonna fall in the ditch.
Woo, preach, brother.
See, they both gonna fall in the ditch because neither one of them can see. They both blinded. And what I mean by blinded, because they not knowing who God is, they not knowing who Jesus is. And once Jesus come into your life, the blinders come off. Now you can see. That's why he say, once I was blind, but now I see. Now you can see who you dating. Now you can see what God wants for you, but you steady pushing God's blessing away because you want your blessing. And he steady saying, I got that for you, but he wears hair like that. So you're looking at the hair and not the blessing. So you didn't miss your blessing because of what you've seen. I'm going to show you now. He said we walk by sight. We walk by faith, not by sight. We walk by faith, not by sight. Trust God on who he's sending you. Because now, when me and my wife got married, and I'm going to be real quick, when me and my wife got married, nobody looked at me. Nobody wanted to be bothering me. I looked at like Simple Sam. But soon me and my wife got married and came back to Houston. Everybody and their mama. But no, you didn't want me when I was like that rose or like a diamond. Diamond's out of coal, just dark black. So you had to beat it. You had to press it, put pressure on it. It didn't come out a diamond, right? Mm-hmm. See, they didn't want that coal. But now it's a diamond. So just to say that is that the way you look, don't worry about that. The way you speak, don't worry about that. When you got Christ in your heart, God will give you the words to say, even when you're on a date. Mm-hmm. Like Nikki G said. Something about God should come out your mouth, even if it's just the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want, so I don't want for nothing. Even a conversation that where she or he know.
Definitely, I ain't never been in
no,
on no relationship where we didn't talk about, we didn't go into the spiritual aspect of it. You got to get that. That's your number one grounded.
Yes.
But what you do in the day for us, you don't, like you just said, Nikki, you don't want to just throw religion on no one.
No.
Yes, yes. Just ask that simple question.
Right.
In the date, but you want to see where they're.
Just ask them what matters to you most. Right. That's all you got to say. You ain't said nothing about nothing. You dating to collect data. Remember, you're dating to collect data.
Exactly. And people, and vice versa, don't think that person ain't trying to see what you was about to.
Yeah, they can ask you the same thing.
The purpose of data may be different than your purpose.
Exactly.
But if you're dating from what I'm saying, the biblical principles, that's one way you can find out without, like you said, being over the top.
Right.
The next question was, what attracted you to me? That's after maybe you went out a few times. You ask the person, what attracted you to me? And if they can't name anything but your physical outside, run.
I'm about to laugh because I know exactly what she's talking about. Bishop. That's the bishop. So I already know.
But it's facts what he's saying. It makes sense.
Yeah.
If they can't say nothing, ooh, baby, you so pretty. Ooh, baby, you so cute. Ooh, I like your booty. Okay, but what else do you like about me? It's straight physical.
It's all physical.
And that's the truth because before I met my wife, I was.
I love that man. Baby, please, I'll be up all night looking at that man. But because he tell them facts.
And I was finna get married. And the pastor asked me, what did I like in love about the female? Mm-hmm. And I went on, I was writing a book, how I felt and what I seen in her and everything. But then when he asked her, he turned to her and asked her, she couldn't say nothing. He said, I will not marry you. He said, I will not. Under the circumstances that this man can do a novel on what he see in you.
So this was the date that you was on, someone you was dating?
Yeah, and we're finna get married.
Wow.
How long y'all had dated?
We had dated about a year.
So y'all was just dating?
We didn't date no sex, no nothing. Because I made a promise to God. I had to turn my life around because I was, like you said, I was looking at the booty and everything else, and you know, and that got me in trouble. You know, I'm baby daddy number one and baby daddy number two. You know, so I said,
she
no,
couldn't
God,
think. She was deprived. Now let me stop.
You gonna have to send me somebody that you send me for because everything I picked, I'm in trouble with them.
But we do still war with the flesh.
Yes.
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 We have to be mindful, and this is to tell everyone, you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna battle with the flesh.
Yes.
But you have to stay focused and stay determined on the purpose.
Called distraction.
And the will. God gonna give you all the power. Trust me. Like I said earlier, I was, after my divorce, I even practiced self. You know, for me, I'm just gonna speak about me. That was kind of, I wouldn't say it was hard, because really, sex is a mental thing. It's where your mind go into. Don't get me wrong, the body, I'm not gonna say if you sexually active, you haven't yearned for some desire to be touched. Every woman and man has. But you have to throw your focus into God. Throw your focus into your purpose, what you want, what God's purpose for your life, not what your purpose is. What is His purpose for your life? Because when you allow yourself to throw yourself into Him and focus with Him, He's going to give you that peace and that desire, because that's all it is a desire. That desire going to kind of fade off. You ain't going to be worrying about it like that. Not saying you ain't going to never want it.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course, when we first initially see somebody, of course, we're attracted to the physical.
Yes.
We don't really know them. But once you go out with this person and you ask them, you know, why are you attracted to me? You want to hope and pray that it's something other than that. You know, you expect that when we first meet, because what else do you know about me?
Right.
But like Calvin said, you want somebody to pay attention to you when you don't even know they're paying attention to you.
I know.
And I've had that happen to me, and I thought the person was crazy, but that person was watching me.
Right.
I need to find that person. I don't know where.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had people that I didn't even know that was paying me attention. I mean, have inboxed and, you know, messenger me just to, you know, let me know I'm interested. You know, just all they said. No, I don't want to become off as a stalker or this and that and other. But I just it's just something about you that makes me, you know, and I'm like, okay, so what do, you know, I'm looking at it. I always say that don't look at my beauty. You know, because don't let the prettiness fool you. You know,
Yeah.
I've been one of them women back then. I was broken. That's being real. I was broken up because I was in something, in a relationship, in a marriage that I didn't fully have a full understanding.
And that's what I'm hoping these podcasts do.
Yes.
The Man Up, I call them Man Up Part 1, 2, 3. I don't know, we might have 310. But we're going to cover every aspect, because I'm tired of seeing these people getting divorces. And me, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
If, Lord, I don't know. If I get married again, I don't know.
The most thing,
But
manning up, the women need to.
yeah, I'm saying both roles.
Yeah, like he said, the both roles.
Both roles. But I'm hoping that with us discussing these topics and these steps, that it will stop there. So now we're in the dating phase. You asking these questions. Why are you attracted to me? You know, what is it about me, you know, that you like? So if that person don't give you the answer, you know, that you're looking for, you know, that's a red flag. You might want to rethink that. If all they can say is they looked at your booty, application got to go to the bottom of the pile.
Go to trash. No, don't go to the bottom, tear it up.
Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to look at your booty and somebody else's booty.
Trust me. Trust me. And I'm a man.
That's where my trustworthy comes in.
See, and that's the whole.
I know it's going to be pretty women.
Oh, yeah.
Women, fine women, just like me, or finer women. Come on. But are you trustworthy?
Yeah, that's
Can I trust you with my heart.
Yes.
That's what you collect that data
Come
for.
on, now, you gotta collect that data. That data's important to me. I'm a data queen.
Oh, excuse me.
The next question came up was, you can ask that person, what's your vision? What do you see? See yourself maybe in 10 years. What's your vision for your life?
Right.
You know, then you got to ask yourself, do I fit into this? I'm speaking from a woman. Do I fit into this man's vision? Can I be a helpmeet to this man?
There you go. Key word right there.
Can I be a helpmeet to this man, or I need to run? So I'm saying that to say hypothetically you out with somebody and this person said, well, you know, I want to be an aspiring rapper and I'm going to do this and I got to do this and do that. Me, myself, I can't be no helpmeet to you. So I know that's just time for me to go. That's not for me.
60-year-old rapper.
Inspired rapper.
Aspire rapper, I'm in the studio, and that's not for me.
That's why you gotta know what you want. So
Junk
you know
pile.
What you want.
Yeah. I know what I don't need, and I don't need that.
Exactly.
Lord help me.
But I'm just saying, you have to ask, what is a vision? Can you fit into that man's vision?
That's right.
If that man has a vision, guess what? He knows his purpose.
Exactly.
That's important.
He knows
Sabarnia, both of you guys have already spoken, and he knows his purpose. That
knows.
vision is his purpose. So where do you fit in that?
And you got to ask yourself that question. Vice versa, just like a man and a woman sitting up there and she's talking and she like, well, in 2 years I want to be here and I did this already in 1 year, so I won't be there. And then she asks you, what do you think? And if you're sitting there dumbfaced, that means that you don't have a clue, you don't have a vision for yourself, because if you had a vision for yourself, you'll slide right in. But you know what though? In 2 years we can do this. In another year, we can do this here. So now you have her attention. She's like, he know about business. It's about what you know. She don't want to hear about no football. She don't want to hear about no dogs you fight, and she don't want to hear about all that. She want to hear, do I got to carry you? I'm just going to keep it real. Do I got to carry him, or can he carry us both? See, that's the deal. I'm just going to be real with you. My father always say, all outcome and no income, that's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. You always giving, and then you got one person always taking. No, we're going to meet halfway. If I cut the yard, you're going to rake the grass. You're going to do something. So the whole deal is that, when you go into these relationships, into the dating somebody, you dating because you tired of dating. You tired of going out, and I went out 15 times this year, and that's why you're getting data, because you're making a process of elimination. No. You got to choose. You got to choose, whether it's good or bad, but you got to make that choice, because if not, you're going to be 70 years old, but you shoulda, coulda, woulda, I should have kept that one there, but you have to make up your mind and allow God in your life to choose for you. Let God send you somebody. Because God sent my wife, trust me. He sent my wife.
You date to see if you really have a connection to build with someone.
Right.
And that's building a foundation. Foundation based off God. Foundation based off morals.
That's it.
Principles.
That's it.
If you with someone that don't have those morals and principles, then that's not who you are. Like you said,
right.
The rapping thing. You need to just press on and move forward.
Because marriage is not for everybody.
Yeah, some people
just about to say.
People might not want to be married. And you're not dating, you're not asking this data per se. I'm not going to say just so you can get married.
Right.
You collecting this data because, one, you want to know, do you even want to intertwine with this person on a day-to-day basis? Period.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So I shouldn't say, about marriage, but I'm saying if it gets to that point, at least you started out on the right path.
But 9 out of 10 chance we women, Nikki. A woman date because she want to find her. She want to see if she can really have somebody that she can grow and build, and they be a family. I can't speak on a man's term, but for women, I know I must speak for me. When I started dating just to get out, just to see how. What was about. Mm-hmm. But then I went into the fact of knowing, after I knew what I needed versus and what I wanted, I want to be able to be in a position to where, yes, I know what I was. One thing, I know what God gave me. He built me to be a wife. Mm-hmm. I'm not built to be in these clubs and going out and partying. Oh, girl, this and that. I know I was built to be a wife, because even when I was married, it was moments where I not even conscious minded knowing that I was doing, that I had enabled my own husband, because I didn't know how to approach the marriage. You can get married, but if you don't really know how to interact while you're in the marriage, then things like that can falter. That's why I told you the last time, I never sit here and criticize my ex-husband, because it wasn't like he was a messed up person or bad person. He just had his own issues within himself that he needed to resolve. Just like I had my own issues that I needed to resolve. That's what we're talking about, knowing healing.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a lot of brokenness from childhood, from not just relationships, we got a lot of people have a lot of brokenness from their upbringing.
Right.
Like the other episode with the young man that was here. Sometimes it's the upbringing don't allow you to be the woman or the man you need to be going into a relationship.
Yeah, that's why I said you take the first steps that I said before you even get to going out on a date asking these particular questions.
Yeah.
You have to do the work. You have to put in the work. And I would say that's my fault in my broken relationships because I didn't do the work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, like I said, I'm out there chasing that American dream. I'm going to get the husband. I'm going to get the dog. I'm going to get the cat, the rat, whatever you want to get. And I'm going to go on.
No.
And that's exactly what I got, a bunch of rats and snakes. Chasing that American dream.
Well, go ahead and tell me, I go get the husband. I just got to slow down and be still.
I think
You just gotta be
God
still.
built us to be the help me to the man. That's every woman.
Yeah.
But we got
That's the
help me.
That's it. Just to help me. See, help
But-
me. That's it.
We as women, a lot of us wasn't taught that. A lot of women weren't fortunate like you to have that mindset to know, hey, I'm gonna be this wife and I'm gonna do this.
Right.
You know, that's where this come in at. The information that we don't get. Because I know a lot of times older people in my world was just like, you know, you get married, get your husband, you go sit your butt down somewhere. What's this in between y'all left out?
Well, let's get that too, because a lot of people, women in the older world too, they put up with a lot of stuff too.
Yep, they did.
Are you with it? Because a lot of them with me.
They did.
Because
they did. They
the
put up-
way
Accept it.
the way it was brought to me was this is what you supposed to do. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to do this, but like you said, marriage ain't for everybody.
There you go.
And I'm starting to believe maybe I'm just not the person to be married.
Well, they-
You know, but I had to I'm figuring that out on my own. But as a young woman, I'm listening to the older women.
Right.
And you remember what I told
But I had to figure it out on my own.
We all do.
I told
That's
you-
what you right. Like you say, do the homework. You have
You have to do the work.
Everything that my mom said ain't in the Bible. It ain't in there.
Life lesson.
It ain't in there.
Right.
Life lesson.
Because-
About
You got to
lesson.
know, you can hear people all day long. You can listen to people all day long. But you are going to go through your own life lessons. And you have to take what all your experiences, you have to take them to be lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Take something from it so you can learn and grow.
And you have to. You have to take something
That's
from
the
it.
only way you're going to get stronger on who you are, on your
Yeah.
on who you are, confidence.
'Cause if
And when you take that journey in the beginning of healing, that's where you're supposed to do all those things. When I say self-reflect, self-evaluate, you know, you got to self-love. Because I remember when I was going through what I was going through, my cousin asked me point blank, and it just didn't dawn on me till like a couple of weeks ago. She said, you don't love yourself, do you? I'm probably about 21, 22, getting my ass whooped. But I'm just saying, she's like, you don't love yourself, do you? And I'm like, I do love myself. She said, no, you don't. And she walked off. I'm just not figuring out what she meant by that. I didn't love myself because why? If I love myself the way I portrayed that I did, why would I let this person treat me this way? Why would I let this happen? I let that happen to me. That person wouldn't have done none of that stuff to me if I didn't allow it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that.
Yep.
I'm going to take that. I didn't deserve it, but I allowed it. It's a difference.
That's right.
See,
I'm going to own that.
yeah. See, and that's the part of healing. The part of healing is confessing you're wrong, confessing it's all on me. Don't blame nobody else for this part of it. I did that. I said that. I acted like that. That was on me. That's the first point that you got to heal from that when you unpack that suitcase. Quit blaming him or quit blaming her for everything when the things that you should have done or should not have done, you did it.
Yeah.
So it's like I say, self-healing. You have to heal from that because all these suitcases you got, all of them don't really belong to you, but a couple of them belong to you.
Yeah.
See,
That's
so
true.
and then you leave
gotta
that
have
relationship
Jesus.
with only two. Now you get another relationship, you got them two you bringing with you, and now you finna leave him, now you got three more, now you got 5 suitcases. So every relationship that we get in, that's some luggage. So next thing you know, they calling you, you left your luggage over here, you know, you gotta go get that. That's your mistake. See, and a lot of us got married with luggage. And then we get there and we start unpacking it and we realize, I'm gonna show you something. I left and I shouldn't have left because it was on me.
Not only just married with
You see what I'm saying?
dating with
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, with dating with luggage, it ain't luggage with me when you're dating.
Yeah, you got some type of baggage because you
It's
got
just
to figure
trash.
yourself. You got to figure.
It's trash. You put that in the trash can, that little deal on the empty trash, bam, empty.
This is so much of a coincidence. Today, as this date today, I had posted something, about loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Loving yourself versus being in love with yourself. Those are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, "Oh, I love me some me. I love me." You love what you doing for yourself. For as what? Keeping yourself up, making sure you nice, keeping yourself, groomed, and doing the things you want to do. But being in love with yourself is setting standards and boundaries and principles.
Yes.
That you're not willing to break by any means necessary.
That's loving yourself and also feeding your emotional
Yes.
and mental
That's what I was about to say.
well-being.
Because look at where it's going.
And that's where them boundaries come in. Because once you know what you need,
Yes.
those boundaries gonna set up in your head. You're gonna be like, oh no. Because baby, trust me. Somebody try to cross over that line with me now, I'm like, oh no. You got to go.
Attacker.
No, you got and you know
Application, 3 points in the trash.
Yeah.
No.
And you have to do that
Yeah.
because I had to learn that even myself. With my children, with coworker thing, I was like, hold up, you will not talk to me like that. You will not address me like that. You will not. It just started flowing. And my mama told me this when I was young. She said, "Baby, you're not tired yet because you'll get tired of being sick and tired. You know you're tired." And that was my point. I got sick and tired of being tired. And I just started saying, you know what? 8 to 80, blind, crippled, crazy. I'm going to check you. In the church or out the church. It don't matter how you want to do it.
Self-love, like you spoke about, Nikki, and even with dating and having self-love, you can't be hard on yourself. A lot of people, they be hard on themselves because they too busy concerned about trying to appease the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be hard on yourself because you have standards.
That's true.
Don't sell yourself short because you got standards. Don't feel you're not worthy. I said this is my thing for me. If a man can't respect me, honor me, and show value of who I am, I'm valuable. That's how I feel about me.
Yeah.
And I feel like
yourself.
that's where the biblical principles come in. It's going to take a man that have that in him
Right.
to be able to even recognize and respect that.
Right.
So I'm saying that to say, so when you're going out on these dates and you're sick and tired of being disrespected, treated less than, or feeling like you treated less than, your self-value is low, it's time for you to cross over to the other side and come over here with me. To the peaceful side. To the peaceful side.
And see, and
Getting the things that you need. Now, if I'm amongst somebody and I don't like the way that person makes me feel, I no longer suppress that and say, oh, well, he didn't mean it. Oh, he didn't do it. Just like Calvin said, he meant it, but I'm making excuses. I don't do that anymore.
no,
I chunk up the deuce. Gone. Because I don't like the way it make me feel. You're not helping me, my mental and my emotional
Because
well-being.
he should not be your validation.
now I'm gonna share.
I don't like the way it make me feel.
I'm gonna share something with
That's
y'all.
right. You're right.
When you dating, when you having conversations and everything, it come out of Ephesians 4:29. Now, if y'all ain't tore out y'all Bibles, that little page is Ephesians chapter 4:29. It said, "Corrupted communication should not proceed out your mouth."
Yes.
Corrupt communication. I mean, all that cussing.
Yeah.
And we throw that B word so quickly.
Lord forgive me.
The women, they do that to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Now.
So you on a date now. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no, not on
You on a date, and I sit there and sometimes I be like, oh my Jesus, really? I hear women talking to the guys and the guys talking to the women, and to me, it's disrespectful.
So you hear the date that they actually having profanity talking amongst each other?
Yeah.
Or they just having.
I can't say it on here.
They have.
Yeah, it's a date. They sitting there talking.
Each other. They
Right? No, right.
Oh, okay.
They have. So it don't matter. The communication shouldn't come out your mouth, cause I'm looking at you talking to me, and we talking, and then you say that blank 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 blank. She'll make me kick. I'll be like, ooh.
That's how some people communicate.
You know, but I'm just saying, you know, it shouldn't come out the mouth.
It may be for some people.
Right.
You feel disrespected, but maybe somebody else doesn't. They're
Right.
not ready yet. Like your mom said, they
Right.
ain't sick and tired of being sick and tired
Right.
yet.
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's the type of tone that if you're dating, you shouldn't allow.
Yeah, cut it off.
Yeah, see that's my point. You have to cut that off. You have to say.
But if she's that type of female, then they gon' connect.
Right, but see that's what I'm saying.
If you're not that type of
that's what I'm
female,
saying. You'll know
and
what
you
you're
meet a
attracting.
man
Right.
like that, and you go on a date with this guy. Now, when you first, like I say, when you first meet this person and talk, the representative shows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sound like the people on the phone. This is the representative.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the true me.
Right.
This is,
A
hi,
recorder.
nice to meet
You
you.
get in a recorder.
I love the Lord.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
That's what they do. Hallelujah. Praise
6
God.
months later,
You walk around black guy in the
Oh.
shade in the church house with the shades on, the good Reverend Deacon Dr. Doug to punch you now on the way to church.
And you sit there, you have a real conversation with this person. And
Yeah.
when y'all have this conversation, then he's using all kind of vulgar words and using explicit sayings and stuff.
Those
and then
are red
you start looking
flags.
at yourself and like, you know
Yeah.
what, this ain't the one.
Yeah,
for me.
that's red flag.
Really ain't for me. I don't care how good he look. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care how good his credit is. His character is not for me.
Because he gonna
what you want, or do you really need that in your life?
Exactly.
You better make a wise decision.
Exactly.
Now, we done digressed off to something else. Okay, now, when you figure out if the man know his vision and you feel like you can fit into his vision or his purpose, then okay, and he might can intertwine with yours, vice versa. The next part, which I feel is the most important part, is knowing your role. As that person, in a relationship or a marriage, what role does, you feel that the male plays and the woman plays? And if it doesn't line up to what you know with the biblical principles, then it might not be the person for you if that's what you're looking to get. Why intertwine yourself with somebody that's not even there yet? You're there, so you want somebody there with you.
Right.
And you want to intertwine so it can become one and it's going to work. Because this person is in your everyday life. Mm-hmm. You have kids, he's in your kids' life. You're teaching your kids things too. You got to think about that.
Because in a relationship, you dating, and you telling me your goals, your dreams, and I'm telling you my goals and dreams. Now we in this relationship now. We still dating, but we getting beyond the dating part now. My priority is to make sure that your goals are met. That's number one. To make sure your goals are met without depleting mine. I'm supposed to be there for you too. Mm-hmm. It ain't just you being to help me. Mm-hmm. See, so now I got to provide you with the how can I say it? With the stability of your mind, not stressing you, not bringing you down, not letting everything be about me, but about you, but then also too about us. Because you have some men and some women want to be the flow show. They want to be about them. They just bought a shot caller. They want to do my. It's no me. It's me, my. Not us. Not we. This is mine. It's okay for it to be yours. But what makes it hard for us to say, with the help of my beautiful wife right here, I wouldn't accomplish this if it wasn't for her. Mm. What's giving her that credit or giving him that credit also too?
See, that's why you ask that question. So when I say ask that person about roles, I mean far as, do you, ask that person straight up. Do you feel like it's okay for me to go to work and you stay home? Or how do you deem what you think is normal?
Oh, yeah.
And if that person can't answer you in the way that Calvin just answered you about being as one, you might want to rethink that if you're trying to incorporate these principles into your relationship, into your life. Not your relationship, into your life, period. Because that person not on the same, you're not equally yoked.
Mm-mm. And you have to be equally
That yoke is. Well, I look at it like, like you was just saying, you speaking in verses of a married. We speaking in people that's not married but live together. Let's talk about that. These people that's in relationships. What are y'all incorporating into that relationship?
Well, I'm hoping before you get to the relationship and decide that, okay, I'm going to be with this person, that you done already did this work.
Right. But like you said, that's dating. Now you got people jump from that within a week or two.
That's what I mean by being backwards.
You know what I'm saying?
They doing it backwards. They get in a relationship, then want to collect it
that got married and did it backwards. But I ain't knocking them because some people have longevity because of it. I've met people in my profession. I've met people that say they've been married 30, 40 years. Met one day, 1 week, and they've been married ever since.
Maybe they asked the important questions.
Everybody, but everybody. We still speaking in the terms of the era that we in.
Right, it's the era.
That era back then, because if you married 34 years, you kind of up in age, okay? Yeah. So that era back then, a lot of them grew up with different principles. Now we in a dispensation time, some people are coming out of broken homes, dysfunction. And to take note, and I'm serious with relationship, this is why I say with dating, make sure you have your mental state of mind in check, because mental illness is serious. Mm-hmm. And relationships are triggers. Dating is a trigger to mental illness.
That's why I said if that person
seriously,
that person don't help you grow mentally and emotionally, don't do it. And you have to, that's when you know yourself, and that's when you learn your triggers. Like I had to learn my triggers. There's certain things now that light bulbs be going off. I had to calm my own self down. Because I'm ready to go fly off the nickel. As older people say.
You know what?
Because I have triggers. I know what they are now.
See, my triggers are being raised up military with my father, in the house, in and out the house, my mother. If the trigger is hollering at me, that's my trigger. I don't care who it is. If you start hollering at me, and I start looking at you like you're looking at me,
I know how you feel.
You better watch out.
That's a trigger for me too. I'm like, ooh, I can't stand that.
That's a trigger, because I'm thinking in my mind now, do I want to hit him on the left or the right? And I'm for real. I don't. I don't care who it is. Mm-hmm. Even when I got grown and my father was still kind of, he wouldn't holler, but he would say, boy, you need to do this. And I look, man, ain't no boy no more. Yeah. But that's my trigger.
You know your triggers. You did the work.
Right. See,
you know it.
Everybody know their triggers. But the hollering for me is a trigger. I don't like to see people get hollered at. I don't care who it is. I really don't. I don't. Because to me, a form of hollering at somebody is a form of disrespect and a form of control. Mm-hmm. Because I can talk to you soft and ask you the same thing.
Actually, you're a little bit more, I don't know.
I have a couple of triggers.
You can be a little meaner when you soft-spoken, because my dad, he never raised his voice. But if he say, girl, you better go over there and sit down. He ain't yell, but I'm going to get my butt over there and sit down. Mm-hmm. He ain't raised his voice, not one time.
See, that's why I say that. But don't nobody like it. That's your trigger. You know your trigger.
Yeah.
You know your trigger. Nobody should like anybody hollering at them, But I know I have a couple of triggers, baby, because I just feel like some things are just unnecessary. You should know what is necessary and what's not. Lying for no reason.
But see, everybody, you can't go in and think that everybody know themselves, everybody know this. They
Right.
don't. They don't. These people are lost in the world.
That's all.
That's where we come in at.
Transparent.
That's where we come in at, because
Yeah.
everybody ain't there yet.
No,
If I had my way, I want to bring everybody this way. Because I'm telling you, this side of peace is just so lovely.
It is. It
I
is.
bet
I don't wake up in the morning, oh Lord, what am I gonna get into? What this? I don't do all that no
Because
more.
you are in
I
love
jump
with you.
up, 10 toes down. I already got what I need to do for the day. God and I already revealed you gonna do this, and this today, and I'm
it.
jumping to
That's
it.
it. That's it.
Everything
That's
else-
my life.
Everything
That's
else
it.
was a distraction.
That's
They kept-
it.
They kept you
That's
from your
all.
peace.
That's why I look at it. And let me tell you something. I'm okay with some good distraction because you motivate me. Good distraction motivates me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need what they call good distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is what motivates you into being who you really want to be, becoming who you really need to be.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm all for good distraction. If you're that negative, that toxic, no, you can go ahead on and miss me. But like I said, triggers for us people, a trigger for me is inconsistency. Oh my God. I don't like somebody that can talk about it, but you ain't consistent with it. That's a
all
trigger
it
for
is.
me.
You see, and I get told because I'm
Ooh.
consistent. I get told because I'm consistent that I'm trying to be perfect, and I'd be like,
No,
no,
consistency
I'm just used to doing things that
It has
way.
nothing to do with perfection.
I know, but that's what I'm saying though. You know
People
what I'm saying?
do
You
that.
get
They
people,
do me like
That
that.
day-
Yeah, they get. Oh, you just got to do everything
Consistency
perfectly.
has a lot to do with commitment.
Right.
You committed
Bingo.
to something.
For me, I get
Exactly.
the same thing.
Exactly.
But it ain't even, it's just the idea that if I say I'm going to do something, committed to it, I'm going to give it 110%.
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
going to give you half mediocre crap.
Right.
Right.
If I can't do it, I'm going to tell you, hey, I can't do it. But
Exactly.
lo and behold, I'm going to figure it out at some point. But that's just
all.
me. But everybody's not there. They don't
That's
get it.
Right. Right. And you're right.
That's why we, like you said, we're trying to get people there to
Yeah.
that point to understand. You got to be consistent with the other person if you want the other person to be consistent with you.
And I'm gonna tell you
That's
something.
the one thing too.
Exactly.
You
Treat
date
people the way you wanna
if
be
you,
treated.
You treat people the way I live. That is one biblical term I live off daily. I treat people the way I try my best. I'm not perfect, but I try my best to treat people the way I want to be treated. Because I do understand levels of disrespect, and I don't never want to disrespect no one or be disrespected.
Exactly.
So, okay, so with that being said, I hope that these steps, when you decide to date, can help you progress into a healthy relationship, because that's really the purpose. I want you to be happy and healthy in life. You know, not going around with all this negative energy, negative vibes from people. You don't really have to put up with that. You're making a choice to stay in that. You make a choice to stay in a bad relationship. You're making a choice. Because it's always a way out. You just got to know how to get out. That's my thought process. I'm just saying, some people, I don't have a way out. It's a way out. Because just like Calvin's mom told him, when you get sick and tired, you're going to get sick and tired. My mama told me that one day, and within a week, I call her up, and I said, Mom, I'm tired. She said, okay, let me call your daddy. And it went downhill from there. But, they took over after that.
Yeah,
but they had to let me get to that point.
Exactly.
So once you get to that point and you're sick and tired, come try something different.
And ain't nobody said it's easy.
No, it's not.
You're going to have your swings. You're going to go through your moments.
Yeah,
But
so the steps to take, healing. Then once you figure out what you need, then you step over into the dating. Then you ask the questions. How you going to fit into that person's life? Does that person really know their purpose? That's using biblical principles. You know, who is the head of their life? I'm speaking of a man and woman too. Who is the head of the life? Mm-hmm. Those are questions you have to ask if you're going to incorporate biblical principles. And I'll tell anybody, the day that I decided to follow God and not the world was the best decision of my life. Because that's how my life became peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, sister.
He said he'll keep you in perfect peace, whose mind stays on him.
Woo!
Talk truth. Talk the
on
truth.
him. So when you wake up in the morning, when he wake you up in the morning, and if your mind is on junk, you don't got no
That's
perfect
why
peace.
God say, don't deny me.
Do not.
You got a lot of people want to deny him. They want to be behind doors when it's troubling times and hard times. Then you want to say God this and call on God and God. Call on God when you just sitting there and you just got peace.
You have to call
Ain't
on him.
nothing going on. If something going on, just got peace. It ain't nothing like a peace of mind.
It ain't.
It ain't nothing like a good peace of mind.
Wake up with peace. Walk around with peace. And then when peace say, I got a friend for you. Now you got joy. Now you got peace and joy walking around
And to
with
bring
you.
that peace, even if you're in a relationship or you dating someone, I'm speaking to everybody, whether you dating, in a relationship, or even in a marriage. Maya Angelou said it, then the bishop said something, but I'm going to say Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Mm-hmm.
And as the bishop says, why allow yourself to get worked up and upset about something you've already saw in this person? You getting upset, why get mad? So that only shows you if this person is not giving you what you need, it's time to exit. It's time to remove. And I'm going to leave on that note. That's all I got to say about that, Nikki G.
So with all this talk about dating and relationships, I'm going to read to you 2 Corinthians 6:14. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness?
Mm-hmm. You said
So
it all
once
right
you cross over and you become a believer and you want to live your life with biblical principles, you have no business intertwining with a non-believer. Because guess what? It's not going to work. And we're going to wrap this up.
That's right.
Because we done went way over time, as usual.
Praise the
Next
Lord.
week, I want you to tune in. I'm going to talk about self-love on a deeper level. I would like to thank you for tuning in and talk to you again next week.